Alright, beautiful people, your boy Okwintini Kojo is back again. I've missed you so much. I love you so much. Anytime I'm about to do such video, I feel so blessed. I feel so happy. No matter what the situation is, I feel so excited because I'm about to talk to families. I'm about to talk to you, and it means a lot to me. Yes, the boy is Okwintini Kojo, your Africa boy. The name is what you know. I love you so much. You know, the love means a lot to me. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. If you like my video without subscription, it hurts me sometimes. I know how much you love me. I know how much I love you. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know, the purpose of this channel right now is that we are building a bigger community. And the purpose of this community is to build the new Africa now. The new Africa we want to see tomorrow must be built now. So we are inspiring all Africans all around the world, and also people all around the world, that the new Africa must be built now. So join this community so we can be the biggest community for the change of Africa, for the betterment of this continent. I love you. No matter your color, so far as you believe yourself to be African, African is a matter of mind and heart. If you love Africa, you are an African. We love you. We all love you so much. Thank you. In today's video, we are going to talk about some of the reasons why some African diasporas don't survive in Africa. We are going to go into details. So in these videos, we are going to check some of the reasons, you know, some of the things that people like African diasporas don't usually expect, and it happens. So it becomes like a culture shock. Okay, we are going to talk about such things so that African diasporas all over the world will get to know some things, will make some research before they move to Africa. We want you to come to Africa. We want you to stay. Africa is your home. It is your home. You belong to Africa. Like I always say, no matter how big a sheep will be, it can never be like a cow. So if you know you are a sheep, you are a sheep. If you know you are a cow, you are a cow. A cow can never turn into a sheep, and a sheep will never turn into a cow. So if you know you are an African diaspora, Africa is you. Africa is you. But you know, actually this weekend I buried my great grandmother, the one that brought me up. She was my heart. She was my heart. She was my everything. I lost her. So 3 days ago I buried her, and it was the saddest moment of my life because she was somebody that brought me up. Yeah, she was the reason why I'm here today. So I'm dedicating this video to my great grandmother. She was 95 years old. She saw the Second World War. She used to tell me history about the Second World War. Yes, and also I'm dedicating this video to anybody watching me who has lost his or her loved ones. Anybody, it could be anyone that you've lost that you really love. I'm dedicating this video to you, to that person that you've lost, that we love them so much, and they should rest well till we meet again. So this video is dedicated to anybody who is watching me who has really lost their love. So if you're an African diaspora, all African diaspora around the world, be proud of yourself as an African, because you have a very beautiful culture here in Africa. Your culture is so unique and beautiful here home in Africa. Yes, so this is how we pay our last respect to the dead. We pass on communication from our earth to the land of our ancestors. So each of these drums they are beating is communicating. Every sound have a special meaning. We are passing this as a respect from our living earth or from our earth to the ancestors. Just like I said, this video is dedicated to anybody watching me, no matter where you're from, no matter who you are, that they've lost their loved ones. This video is dedicated to them, till we meet again. We love them so much. So this is how we pay respect to our loved ones. Loved one. It's very heartbreaking, very, very heartbreaking. And if you've not lost any loved one, I pray that in the next 95 years or 100 years, you shouldn't hear any news of losing someone, because it's so heartbreaking. It's so sad. It's so sad. 3 days ago, I couldn't watch. Like, you know, it was so sad. And it's the saddest moment was I nearly not even made it to my granny's funeral. Somebody who brought me up, but in one way or the other, thanks be to nature, I made it there. And then thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I love you so much. Let's build the biggest community to build a new Africa now. So just like I said, we are talking about some of the reasons why some African diasporas don't survive. Yeah, some reasons why they don't survive. It's hard sometimes. It's heartbreaking that our brothers and sisters come home and some don't survive. We love you so much. The love is deep. We always want you here because Africa is your home. Yeah, just like I always say, a sheep can never turn into a cow, nor a cow can never turn into a sheep. If you're a sheep, you're a sheep. If you're a cow, you're a cow. So if you know where you belong to, you know yourself and you know your true identity. Africa is your home as an African diaspora. Yes. So these are some of the reasons. You know, most of our brothers and sisters in the diasporas or in the diaspora want to come home. They want to come home. They have the love, the desire, the heart desire to go back to the motherland, to go back to Mama Africa. Okay? Where everything started from. They want to go back there. But at the end, some of them comes to Africa and they don't survive. You know, when I talk about Africa, like I always say, when I talk about the diaspora, when I talk about the continent of Africa, the love for Africa is deep. So I always go high. I always get heated. You know that I start blazing like, yes, I. We love you, Mama Africa. We love everybody watching. Like I'm always saying, Africans don't hate color, we hate character. Yes, we don't care where you come from. So far as you being an African diaspora is a matter of heart and mind. Because I know an African, I know black people who say they are not Africans. They say they are not African. They have nothing to do. So being an African diaspora is heart and mind. And I know a lot of white people who believes that they even love Africa more. The history is not forgotten. Slavery was real, but we have forgiven, but not forgotten. And we want everybody to join us to build a new Africa now. That's why you need to join this platform now. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel and let's build a bigger community to build a new Africa. Let's inspire the African diasporas all over the world. We can build a new Africa now with you and me. We can build it. Let's share the love. Let's like this video. Let's subscribe to this channel. Let's build the biggest community. Being an African diaspora is the heart and the mind. It's not a matter of color. Yes. So if you know, you know. If you believe in who you are as a black person, you believe in who you are. You know, anytime I talk about Africa and I talk about the African diasporas, sometimes I feel like crying because the people who have suffered most in this world are our brothers and sisters in the diaspora. Yes, they've suffered so much. But nature knows. Just like I always say, if you know, you know. We love them. Please come home. Please come home. Yes, please come home. We love you. Don't feel too comfortable or you'll be put in chains and shackles. Indirectly, you won't know. You won't. These are some of the problems that some African diasporas face when they come to Africa. One is, most African diasporas don't really make their research well before they move to Africa. Someone will ask, why should I make a research? It's just like leaving your mom and dad and your family somewhere to travel for a very long time. And you want to go back home. First thing I think everybody would like to do is to call home. Mom, sister, brother, how are you doing? I'm coming home tomorrow. You know that kind of feel. But if you travel straight because you think the home is there and you go and that day they've locked the door, nobody's around, you'll be disappointed. Yes, you'll be disappointed. Be like, oh, I came home and then nobody was around. And then you'll be like, I should have called. And now you start thinking a lot. You'll be so frustrated. So a lot of African diasporas don't make vivid research, deep research about, like, they don't really do background check before they move to Africa. Visiting Africa is different from living in Africa. If you come to an Africa to visit, you might be a tourist. The African diasporas who come to Africa annually to have fun. They come to their own home to have fun and they go back. Yes, their home belongs to them, but they don't even appreciate it. Like, they don't really like it, so they come have fun and they go. So if you come have fun and you go and you don't make your ground checks and you think you've been to Africa before, so you are moving in, you might be shocked with a couple of things, which people call, or which we call, cultural shocks. Okay, so before you move, check one, the system. You know, Africa, the Western, or for instance, America is ahead of Africa about more than 180 years, like 200 years or something, if I'm not exaggerating, in terms of development. Our system is not the same as the Western countries. Truth be told, if you are coming to Africa, the system in Africa is way different than the system in the Western. We are developing swiftly, we are fast, we are developing. Africa is developing, no doubt. So to catch up, that system in the Western country is going to take a while. But home sweet home. Home sweet home simply means home is indeed a home of yours. So if you check the system, and you realize that, oh, okay, this is how the Africa system works. You know, you can visit one. I'm not telling you shouldn't visit as a tourist before you move in. You can visit, but take advantage of any time you visit if you really want to move. It could be once, or it could be once. And if you know somebody here that you think you are coming to, who is going to lead you to survive or to be stable in Africa, you can go through the person. You can go through the person. Yes. So making checks, observing the system, how it works before. Africa is one continent. Precisely, Ghana is one, where I live is one continent. It's one country where you can drive and you might not even see any police stopping you, asking you, giving you tickets. And so you knowing the differences between the system will make you the happiest person on earth. 2, you need to check the cost of living. The cost of living, which is the rent, your daily expenses like transportation, food, and all that. You know, like the Western countries, like America and other places, you can have your card. You can borrow anything you want through your card. No, we've not gotten to that level in Africa. I don't think there is any Africa country that can have a credit card like purposely made in Africa here that the person can shop on credit. Like, you know, it doesn't work here. Here we pay cash with everything, or even if it's an e-transaction, it's just cash and carry. You pay, you take. Yeah, we don't credit. Like we've not gotten to that level yet. So you need to know that. Okay, if I'm moving from a country where I can buy a phone which is $2,000 on a credit and I'll pay in the next 2 years, to a country where I need to pay $2,000 to buy the phone. You know the differences. So you need to do all those things. The cost of living. The cost of living. And in Africa, for instance, if you want to rent, Ghana, for instance, if you want to rent a house or a room, they have so many categories. But the thing is, here in Ghana, we don't pay, like, for instance, if you are paying $2,000 a month, you pay it straight for 24 months. That is 2 years. But in the Western countries, you pay it monthly. It is $2,000 a month. You pay it every month. Every month. Yes, but here we pay straight 2 years, at times 1.5 years if you are lucky, 1 year. But the problem is a lot of African diasporas, because they don't do some background checks before they move in. These are some of the common mistakes. If you want to rent in Ghana, for instance, we have different categories. You can rent at a location where you pay $3,000 a month. $3,000 a month. $2,500 US, $1,500 a month. But the problem is, you are not going to pay the $1,500 or the $3,000 every month, but rather you are going to pay it 2 years or 1.5 years. So let's do the calculation. $3,000 times 24 is just a lot of money. $2,000 times 24, $1,500 times 24. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Subscribe to this channel. Let's build a new Africa now. I love you so much. So if you come without doing the background check and you try to rent at a very expensive, luxurious place where you're supposed to pay $3,000, you should already know in mind that they are going to pay $3,000 times 2 years. That's too much. That's too much. But staying in same Africa or in same Ghana here we live, you can also rent a place where you pay $150. Look at it. You see the difference? Where you pay $150. So the same way, $150 times 24. It's more okay. It's more moderate. It's moderate. In the same Ghana, you can also get a room where you're supposed to pay $100 a month, which is at least very cool. You may have your water, everything flowing. Alright? So for instance, if we're a family of 3, that you want to have a comfortable, self-contained with like 3 bedrooms, kitchen, toilet, bath, all like living room, everything. You can pay like $250 a month. Depends on the location. Or you can pay like $300 a month, like roughly $300 a month. You can have like 3 bedrooms, with washrooms, your living room, your everything. 3 bedrooms. And at the end of the month, you may pay utilities, which is light and water, like maybe, it depends on the number of people living there, maybe $100 a month. Our utility is not expensive. So if you don't make these checks, and then you like immediately you come in, you try to live in maybe the richest community in Accra where you need to pay like $3,000. No matter the money you bring to Africa, for 4 years you are going to go broke and you need to go back to where you come from, like the place that you moved in from. You know, you're going to be so frustrated. Okay, so you make your background checks on rent. Secondly, if you come to Africa as an African diaspora, live like the Ghanaians or live like the African, live like the country you've been to. Here, eating at the restaurants, I'm not saying you shouldn't eat at the restaurants. You can eat at the restaurants based on how much you make or how much your investment is. But the best way is to live like the people, like the locals. Maybe weekends you can go have fun with your family. You can go have fun with your family. Yes. But going to the restaurant to spend like $50 every night, $50 every night, $50 every night for like the next 3 years, you can just calculate. You are broke. You cannot survive it. But then going to the open market to shop a couple of things. So these are the things you're gonna see in our open market. Our open market looks similar across Africa. They look very similar. Yeah, so if you shop from the open market, which are more cheaper, items are cheaper, I don't think you will not survive. You will survive it perfectly because this is how the people here live out. Yes. So living like the locals or cutting down cost on food or eating will help you survive. But if you eat like when you were a tourist, you know, when you are a tourist, you can spend more because you have number of days to live in the continent or in the country where you are visiting. It could be 1 month and you've budgeted that, okay, 1 month I want to spend $3,000 within the 1 month. You can choose to eat throughout your stay at the restaurants. Yes, because you've budgeted for it. But if you want to be a permanent person in Africa or Ghana precisely, cut cost of living. Transportation. At times you can take the trotro, which is the normal means of transportation. It depends. But if you take a taxi taxi is expensive here. If you want to take a taxi to wherever you're going, you're going to pay more. You could, you know, it depends on the distance. At a shorter distance, you pay less. Like Uber, the same shorter distance, you pay less. The longer the distance, you pay more. Yes. Also, the next thing that I see that most African diasporas complain is, I started a business and then the business didn't survive. So I need to go back and then make my corrections or do my corrections and come back again. Before you establish a business in Africa or Ghana, do 1 or 2 checks. Contact people who has really made it in that business. Make your research. See what is booming at that particular time, that when you invest in it, it's going to last you decades, bring you incomes. You know, this Lebanese, Indians, Chinese, they are very smart. They are very smart people. When they come, they do all those research before they move in. So when they come, and usually the Chinese, one person will come, stay here, pass through all the struggles, have the experiences, then invite the others. So you see, one person will come, the next minute there are 2, there are 3. So the leader has the experience, then he guides them through. That's it. So like I'm saying, if you know someone you're coming through, it's cool. And if you want to move in yourself, do a lot of search across the whole Africa countries. Yes. So for instance, in Africa or in Ghana here, let me use Ghana because that's where I'm from. In Ghana, I always say it's easy to build than to rent. For instance, like myself, I know where they sell land, genuine land from the estate developers, nice communities, about 10 minutes drive to the beach, 10 minutes drive to an airport, like, where you can get some like $6,000 a whole plot. I know most of the Western countries, they don't sell land, they sell houses, but here we sell land for people to build to their own satisfaction.
See, 1 foot common for them.
So this is how a plot of land in Ghana looks like. Okay, it is measured 70 by 100 feet. So like I said, building in Ghana is even more cheaper than to rent. So as they are measuring right now is 70 by 100 feet. That's a plot of land in Ghana. So investment, most people do wrong investment, because what the investment that will survive in America, in Europe, might not survive in Africa. So you need to see, the change of environment, climate, everything. For instance, if you want to do farming in Africa, our soil is very blessed. The continent of Africa is so blessed. We love everything that you put on the soil grows. We are so blessed. So if you want to do farming, it's very great. But make sure that you do 1 or 2 research about it. Don't just move into farming and at the end, now there is climate change. There is climate change. So if you move into farming because you think everybody is moving, you might face some challenge. But if you do 1 or 2 research, you can be the greatest farmer in Africa. I always want Africans to produce what we eat. So if you're an African diaspora and you're moving into Ghana or any part of Africa country and you have 2,000 acres of corn, we are not going to import them from Ukraine or from anywhere. We will buy from you. If you have 2,000 acres of corn with machines planting and harvesting, I'll be glad. You're an African diaspora. I'll be glad that you owns it. We are not going to import them from places to pay for all those shipping and all that. So I'll be glad that when you move, you do farming, you do any kind of investment that will benefit the continent, your brothers and sisters. I'll be glad for you to own that business. I'll be glad that, hey, we are working for a brother. Like, I don't care, like I'm saying, being an African is not a matter of color. It's the heart and the mind, the love. The love is what is important. So I'll be glad that we are working for a brother or a sister. Okay, so check your investment. Do your background checks on the investment you want to do before you move to Africa. Because you need to survive. You don't have option. If you're a sheep, you're a sheep. If you're a cow, you're a cow. You can never turn to a cow whilst you're a sheep. You can never turn to a sheep whilst you're a cow. So you need to survive it. You need to survive it. So one, if you come to Africa, don't rent a very expensive place, luxury place. I'm not saying if you can afford the luxury place, afford it, no problem. But if you know you're an average person, that you need to put things together to make it, please just put your things together. You can rent a chamber and a hall, washroom, kitchen, with like $100. So if you're an average person, why then should you go live in a luxury place and pay for like $2,000 a month? Yes. So these are some of the reasons, petty reasons, where some people or some African diaspora don't survive. And you may see that it's just some minor reason, but they cause a lot of changes, like a lot of challenges. They cause so many challenges. All right. So do your background checks, cut cost of living, where you live, your investment. Make sure you invest rightfully. If you want to establish business, establish it, do the right business, make your background check. When the Chinese people come, the Chinese are those people, and Chinese people are spoiling our waters. You know what they do? Those guys are very smart people. The Chinese are so smart. They are destroying our forests, our waters, and everything, just like I said in my previous video. If you've not watched my previous video, you can click on the link below and watch it. When they come, they use our own black people. They know they are strangers. So they always come. Then they channel themselves through black people. They'll be like, oh, I'm a Chinese, I want to establish this business, maybe travel and talk. And our constitution says in some business, you need to partner with a Ghanaian. So they say, I want to establish this business and I want you to be my partner. So can you help me? And then at the end, they use the same black people to get access to those gold mines and forests, and illegally they destroy the land. Yeah, so it's good for you to make a background check. If you know somebody that you can come through the person, come through the person. If the person is trustworthy, come through the person. If you don't know anybody and you want to move in, you can make a first visit, first attempt. You can when you make the visit, acts of rent, acts of lands, like make it. If you want a land, like I'm saying, I can help you get a genuine land. Genuine land. You hit me in my email, I can take you there. If you are here, I can take you there. You go to court, you do all. I love you. I want you to move in. Come to Africa now. Let's build a new Africa now. Without you, as an African diaspora, we cannot build it. We can't build it. We need you. We love you so much. So try and subscribe to my YouTube channel so we can build the biggest community to build a new Africa now. You get it? Let's build a new Africa now. There is no time. We've been procrastinating on the development of Africa for decades, for centuries. I love you so much. I really love you. You mean a lot to me. Your subscription means a lot to me. Let's build this community. Let's make Africa the better place to live. Let's make the Africa that we want to see tomorrow. I love you. The name is Okwentini Kojo, your Africa boy. I love you so much. Hit you up. Check me out in my next video.